Hello, this is Dr. Victor Cuevas. In Waterbury, your vote matters more than ever. I created this series to help you understand your voting rights and how to use them. Whether you vote early, by mail, or on election day, you deserve to know every option available to you. Together, we can make sure every citizen is informed, empowered, and ready to make their voice heard this election season.
I like to tell you my reasoning behind Vote Roe B. What I've seen is a movement that's incredible. I've been in it for about a year and a half, and I ask you that if you want to see this movement up in front, over the past few months, we've reached out to hundreds of volunteers. I have a book in headquarters, which I'm helping the Republican Party build and get some new leaders elected, young people that are vested in this community. What's fascinating to me is that this book of volunteers that we've been seeking folks to come and join the movement has grown beyond 100 in the past week. It's amazing. That number has now grown every week. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 members that want to join the team, want change. And I have to tell you that 80% of them are Democrats and unaffiliates. And to me, you know what that tells me? The message that people who are out there on our team are putting out in social media, the message that people are now starting to read more, understand more, because we continue to educate. And I got to tell you, in this election, there's going to be some individuals, as I indicated, on both lines, and you might know someone. But I got to tell you right now what just happened in the Democratic Party, so you can get a real grasp of the control that the current party has. There's a young man by the name of Nelson Rafael Roman. He was endorsed by Representative Geraldo Reyes. Geraldo Reyes is the 75th District Democratic representative in the 75th. He's the chair of the town committee in the 5th District. When Reyes endorsed Roman to run as the endorsed candidate in the 5th over an incumbent gentleman by the name Bilal, the party was very, very against it. And they were so against it that actions speak louder than words. They didn't have to say that they didn't like the move. They just didn't like it. And they didn't like it so much that it forced Reyes, Roman, and Sandra McCarthy Martinez to start their own slate in the middle of a general election. And for you guys that know politics, listen, that's unheard of. We had a primary election, the Republicans, when I say we, the team that I'm helping. And the primary's over. I have people calling in the headquarters for the 1st District, for Jamison Stock, Michael Grasso for Alderman, Lori Medina, Terrence Lott Jr., and Thomas Van Stone for Board of Ed. In the 2nd District, I have people calling for Ruben Rodriguez, McEntee, and the 3 Board of Ed members. In the 3rd District, I have folks calling for Kelly Zimmerman, Abigail Diaz, and the 3 Board of Ed members. In the 4th District, I have people in headquarters calling for George Eugene for Alderman, Condash, and the 3 Board of Ed members. In the 5th District, I have folks calling for Adrian Sanchez, Jack Elsif, and the 3 Board of Ed members. The fight's over. We are now endorsing all the Republican candidates. And just for the record, George Eugene was obligated to spend the money he had in his slate, so he's running his own campaign. But know that we are endorsing every candidate on every row B in every district, just for the record. Unlike the Democrats. The Democrats are not promoting the 5th District, and I'll tell you why. There was a little birdie who went to a print shop, and they had made some literature, dropped some literature for all the candidates but the 5th. And you ask yourself why? Because they don't endorse their endorsed candidates. And they made it clear. And it's unfortunate because, they're people too. They have feelings. And honestly, I have to tell you, for the record, Raphael Nelson Roman is probably the best Democratic candidate out of all 10 candidates in the Democratic slate on row A. So he's savvier, knows politics, knows policy, and is putting in some sweat equity in the community. Go look at all the candidates on row A. Tell me who you know, what they've done, and what they do to the community and how they're giving back. See, I grew up in an era that I was taught to give more than you take away from the community you live in. And you know what? And this is why row B is a great team, because look at Kelly Zimmerman, Abigail Diaz, Adrian Sanchez, police officer, giving every day, right? Jackson, every community group, right? George is out there doing this thing. Ruben is on all kind of boards and serving the second. Folks are out there serving. Lori Medina is about to be a pastor in church and serving all the Christians in Waterbury. Just did a wonderful walk for the Walk for Christ, sang. She's been serving for a long time. She's a business owner. And, Terrence Lott is a police officer. Mr. Van Sohn has been a public servant forever. So, but in terms of really the individuals on the group that are putting sweat equity, there's some on the Democratic Party that are putting some sweat equity. But for the most part, maybe one or two. The rest of them just have jobs. Having a job is your 9 to 5, but being involved in volunteer stuff, changing lives, changing kids' lives, coaching, being part of clubs that are significant and improving the life of others, that's sweat equity, folks. You could tell me, I can count on my hands how many people on row A are doing that. Row B, let me tell you, just about all of them. So I ask again that you guys really consider the person, not the party.